Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen Stewart, and I'm the CEO of Orefinders Resources. We are traded on the TSX under the symbol ORX. I'm very pleased to be announcing the results of our AGM, which just occurred on April 6th. We've got great news. We've all been reelected as directors. Everything has passed as expected. And perhaps most importantly, the spin-off of American Eagle Gold is now approved by shareholders and will be moving forward in the near term with that. And I'm going to give another update across the board of all of our assets. We've been very busy on the ground and in the office. And here's our update. Here's our disclaimer. You can read that at your leisure. Before I get into the details, I'll remind everybody who Orefinders is. We're part of the OR Group. We have a portfolio of companies that are involved in the OR Group. Orefinders is one of them. Of course, Mustango is sort of our sister company, and I know a lot of people are waiting on results from Mustango, and rest assured those are coming soon. Same with QC Copper. It has results coming very soon, as will Baseload. So we've been keeping our head down, been very busy behind the scenes, and there's a whole lot of news for Orefinders and for the whole group coming in the very near term. So please stay tuned and feel free to reach out if you want to have a discussion about any of them. But anyways, this is our group. We've got skin in the game. We're good at what we do, and we do our best to communicate with shareholders. This is Orefinders. This is Orefinders in Kirkland Lake. You can see both Orefinders assets as well as Mustango's assets in this particular slide. What you cannot see is our Knight project, which is about 100 kilometers to the south-southwest in the Shining Tree district. It's very, very close, but just not as close on this map. I may have another map to show the Knight in a minute, but nonetheless, you can see Orefinders McGarry, which we're completing an IP program on, and you can see our MIRADO. And of course, our Knight, we've got an ongoing drill program on. So this is the agenda. I'll just touch upon the AGM, give an update on American Eagle Gold, its time frame, and its dividend, which Orefinders shareholders will be receiving. I'll talk about the Knight project, its drill program, where we're at. We're just about near its completion, at least on this phase. Same for MIRADO and McGarry as well. So let's get to it. Update on American Eagle Gold. This has been a transaction which dates back to 2019, where Orefinders did a share swap with American Eagle Gold on a 10 million for 10 million basis, deemed at 5 cents. It's been a long road since there, but we're near completion. For the whole purpose of this was to provide American Eagle Gold an opportunity to go public in an efficient way, which also benefited Orefinders shareholders, and I think it will. So just recently, the AEG team raised $3.6 million at 20 cents. So that's a 4 times return on Orefinders investments on a mark-to-market basis. As I said, Orefinders invested at 5 cents. We raised this money completely at arm's length at 20 cents for $3.6 million. It's a part of that transaction. So that money's held in escrow. And upon listing, that will become obviously spendable, unrestricted cash for AEG, contemporaneous with the listing on the venture. Orefinders shareholders will be receiving a dividend of AEG shares. It's in the 40s, so it's a fairly high ratio in terms of how many Orefinders shares you will get, but shareholders need to understand that that's at a 20-cent value. We did this exact same type of transaction when Orefinders spun off QC Copper and Gold back in 2018. I think that was a big success. The ratio for it was about 17 to 1, but that was at a 5 cent deemed valuation at the time for QC's shares. This is at a, call it a 40 to 1 ratio, which is, let's round figures, that's double the ratio, but it's quadruple the price. So again, round figures, the dividend ratio is, in terms of real value, is much higher. So I think that's great news for Orefinders shareholders directly, who will be receiving, that should occur automatically. You should just receive these AEG shares in your account. If there's any issues on, call it the back office, please contact me and we'll help you resolve it. And then, of course, Orefinders is going to be benefiting from this because it is going to be a significant shareholder of American Eagle Gold. And like the rest of its equity positions, Orefinders holds equity positions in QC Copper, Mustango River Resources, and now American Eagle Gold. We keep those on our balance sheets, But, you know, when the time is right, we absolutely will be monetizing those, just like everybody in this business. We're in this business to make money, Orefinders is. And when the time is right, when these companies are on solid footing, we will look to monetize that and then put the money back into the ground for Orefinders assets. We are of the view, despite especially the recent volatility in the gold space, I ignore that. I have a great conviction in the metals prices on a long-term basis, and I try and stay away from the volatility. So we do believe that now is the time to be drilling and exploring, putting the money into the ground, making a discovery, or expanding on existing discoveries. So all of which Orefinders has and is currently doing. It's time to put the money into the ground. So transactions, accretive transactions like this American Eagle Gold transaction, which was a creative way of helping AG, and while Orefinders benefiting, is what we have done. We have, I think our group has a track record of doing creative situations like this. So as I said, it's been a long road, but we're just about at the listing date where everybody will get their dividend, and Orefinders will get its shares as well. That actual date, or the record date, should occur very soon. I won't be specific, but it's going to occur very soon, and we'll have news out on that shortly. A brief update on our night drilling program. To date, we planned over 10,000 meters. We're already over that as we speak. As you can see here, we drilled nearly 11,000 meters in 25 holes. We've got one drill hole going on right now in what's called our Dugan zone. And when that hole wraps up, we will have one more hole. So let's just say we're probably going to clock in at about 11,500 total meters. I believe that should equal about 27 holes. We're expected this to wrap up, demob this program the week of April 11th. And then we're going to evaluate it, and then we're going to model it, and then we're probably going to go back. In the meantime, we're waiting for a lot of assays. For Orefinders and for Mustanga, we've had, I would say, substantial lab delays. I think there are lab delays at large for the entire industry. We had a very specific lab issue. So you can see here, we're waiting for nearly 30% of the assays which we have submitted for this program on Orefinders, which started, you know, many months ago. So again, I don't mean to point fingers, but the whole industry is slow. And I think COVID is two issues. One, COVID certainly doesn't speed anything up. The second is the fact that there's a lot of companies out there doing a lot of work, and that has put stress on the industry infrastructure, whether that is labor, which is an issue, or whether that's services, which are just taking on more work than they had been set up to do. So we're seeing those issues across the board. We've got 30% of the assays outstanding for Orefinders, so expect that to come soon. Hopefully they're great. We've had some fantastic results so far: 15 grams over 5 meters, 10 grams over this 4 meters. So very good intersections, and I hope we can continue to deliver more. So please stay tuned. What else have we been doing? We've been planning for our MIRADO project. This was originally our flagship project when Orefinders went public. In a different time, in 2013, we were valued over at $50 million for owning the MIRADO alone. It has a 2013 43-101 on it, as you can see, at 442,000 ounces at just nearly 1.3 grams per ton. That's in an open pit in the little red zone here. We call it the South Zone. We paid a lot of attention to that over the years and put a PEA on a starter pit. And what we're looking at now, this isn't a great map here, but there's a zone over here called the MZ zone. We've done trenches on it. We believe it's the extension of this open pit. And we've recently designed, Keith and his team have been designing a drill program aimed at extending that open pit resource. Obviously, we want to get to the 7-figure area is our objective for this next drill program in terms of ounces. So we've got about almost 5,500 meters worth of drilling. It's planned, it's permitted. As I said before, it's on the MZ zone, which is immediately west of the South Zone, as well as some surface trenches that we had really good surface results from back in 2013. So expect some news on that in the weeks and months ahead. It's basically ready to go. We just want to wrap up our minds and focus on completing this night project, and then we'll see more news. As well, we've been busy. We've been busy on the McGarry, and McGarry, of course, is the project. I'll fast forward to the map. This is right beside the 𝐾𝐻. The 𝐾𝐻 was the Macassa of its day. 11 million ounces produced, very high grade. This mine is one of the most famous mines in Canadian history. We, of course, own the property right next door. We call it McGarry. It's got what's called the Armistice mine on it. It also owns all the tailings from the 𝐾𝐻, which has all sorts of gold for reprocessing later down the road. But that's not our focus, nor is our focus going to be this Armistice. There is a resource of about 130,000 ounces, up at about 8 grams per ton, very high grade in this area. But again, we're doing an IP. We've announced an IP program. It's called an ORION SWATH survey. It does MT, which is magnetotellurics. I had to think about how to pronounce that, but that's the type of geophysics we're doing in combination with IP, which is induced polarization. We can see with this cutting edge technologies combined, we can see very deep, up to a 1.5 kilometers depth with the MT, and the IP goes not quite as deep, but very deep at 600 meters. This program is the precursor to a drill program, which we will be announcing on McGarry. And what are we going to be drilling? As I said, we're not focusing on the Armistice. We know what this is there, what is there. We are in a world-class district on the Cadillac Larder Lake Zone break, beside, of course, the 𝐾𝐻, as I noted, and on the other side, over about 20 kilometers over, is the Macassa and all of the other properties we're focused on. So between these two goalposts, we know there's something down there that has yet to be discovered. And this is what this program is designed to identify. And so what you can see here is this is a systematic IP program which has never been completed on the McGarry project. It's aimed at finding something new. Okay, so nobody has looked to the depths that we have looked on this property in this district on this break. So this offers potential for us to identify anomalies that we can drill test. And anomalies are ways of finding a needle in the haystack. They offer no guarantees. The only way to discover anything is via the drill bit. But drilling is expensive, as we all know, when you got to narrow things down. So this is exactly what this is going to do. It's going to allow us to see in situ and give us really good ideas on where to poke the drill. And when we can layer on this information along with the other information, this area is data rich. So we layer the data, but this type of data, which sees to this depth, has never been done, surprisingly. So we're kind of excited about what could fall out from there. The survey is, as I said, it's, or I didn't say it, but we're days away from completing it. We snuck it in just before the breakup, which is great news, and we'll have those results in terms of geophysical results. So that's the update. AEG is going forward. Knight project is wrapping up its drilling, and we're going to have some news on drilling on MIRADO, and the same goes for McGarry in the near term. We're very busy at work. We're pleased with what we've been able to accomplish. The share price has not been fantastic. I'm the first to tell you that. I think part of that is because we had a lot of the free trading shares from our financing come due, and gold has fallen out of favor. But the good news is we are well capitalized, and we've got great assets, and we are going to be continue to work. The secret to our success is going to be continue to work, continue to drill, and look for discoveries. So in the meantime, if any shareholders or interested peoples have any questions, my contacts are there, and I thank you for your time.